Good morning, everyone. So today I would like to welcome all of you to our presentation, our academic paper, Complexity. Is it the ultimate solution? My teammates and I will present certain points and our conclusion based on our academic paper. So let's move on to the introduction part at the beginning. So before I move on to our academic paper, we need to know what is a compact city exactly. So a compact city is an urban planning and urban designing concept which promotes relatively high residential density with mixed land uses. So a compact city is basically a city in a much smaller but in a much denser population area. So let's move on. So the overview of the entire paper is something like this. So we have complexity models which are significantly beneficial to our economy. Moving on is increased job opportunities and health benefits. And then we will have a higher living cost and new health challenges. And last but not least, we have some extra hidden benefits of complexity. So let's move on to our advantages. So there are a few advantages we have, but first and foremost is the low emission of carbon dioxide. So we all know that carbon emission is a very dangerous thing, and it can happen majorly because of several industries, automobiles, and power usage. And obviously, it's not I'm saying about the power use that we use, but the generation of power that we use makes a lot of carbon emission. So compact cities can actually reduce these kind of carbon emissions and make the best use of all of those three things that I just mentioned, thus reducing the carbon emission in a greatly manner. So now I will further elaborate two of the points that can reduce carbon emission even more. First is high efficiency of power usage. So from the very beginning of power and electricity usage, we are trying to make the best use of power, and we are limited to what we can use effectively, as compact cities tend to be more densely populated and designed to have more efficient infrastructure. It reduces the power usage significantly, thus increasing the power efficiency and reducing the carbon emission. A compact city will consume less power compared to a rural areas due to its higher population but in a denser population area. So due to highly dense population, less infrastructure per capita is required as a result of higher effectiveness, and it covers smaller areas and being used more intensely. Then we move on to power consumption. So lesser energy consumption is the power consumption is lowered as the energy required to heat and cool those smaller floor plans that will be because of the higher density is a lot less than bigger houses. In 2050, there is an estimation that the increase of the energy will increase up to 7% for cooling and heating the houses. However, uh, with the effective uses of technology, but while it will increase around 40% in regions spoiled without advanced technology. So all of this will contribute to lesser energy and lesser carbon emission and more efficient carbon energy usage. Let's move on to our next point is that encouragement of uses of public transportation. So our compact city always encourages its population to use public transport, and this is due to better cost effectiveness, and taking public transport compared to owning a private transport is much easier and cost effective. And then we move on to well implemented transport infrastructure. So the transport infrastructures are fully connected road networks, and well implemented infrastructures can encourage cycling, walking, and public transports over vehicles. So public transport in a complexity is well planned and Obviously, it has regular maintenance and always arrives at station on time. Adding to that, using public transport such as the subway will decrease carbon emissions by 84% compared to cars. So due to high density, the construction and operation cost of the road network are much less and much less compared to its rural counterparts. Thus, fully integrated infrastructure system in a compact city makes people inclined to use public transport over private transport due to those networks. So, the greenhouse emission by cars can be significantly reduced. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to pass it to my friend.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuan Kai and I would like to take over from my friend. Today, I would like to present how a compact city affects daily life. But first, let me ask you all about what is your points of view toward a compact city? Is that crisis, opportunities, or even unremarkable? In my point of view, job opportunities in a compact city increase. There's a lot of job vacancies available for people to apply caused by the talent-rich labor market is always available. And the labor markets are always related to the chances to develop a city. It is not hard to imagine that the entrepreneurs do the investment in a city full of business opportunities, and a compact city meet this requirement. Meanwhile, more suitable and competitive jobs with higher wages increase as a market encourages the entrepreneur to do the investment in a compact city. As a result, people can upgrade their skills and create more opportunities for them to live in a better way. Generally, foreign investments introduce advanced skills and technologies in various fields. The gross domestic product (GDP) of a city will increase as the average income of people increases, leading to a higher living standard of people. A city develops well as the income of people increases. To sum up, people getting a higher income and having a higher living standard due to the job opportunities increase. Besides that, a compact city brings a positive effect to health benefits. At the same time, health benefits can be categorized into two measures, which are healthcare accessibility and healthier lifestyle. Try to imagine that healthcare accessibility in a compact city. Is it well equipped or lacking? In my opinion, healthcare accessibility depends on the development of a city. Generally, a compact city has well-equipped healthcare accessibility due to the dense population that prompts the local government to pay attention to healthcare. Thus, many efforts from local authorities make the medical facilities better and the emergency response becomes quicker. A compact city has more healthcare accessibility instead of a rural area. There are many clinics and hospitals in a compact city. Remember, where there's a demand, there's a need to fulfill the demand for long-term development, especially in a compact city. Before entering the next category, try to compare the healthcare accessibility between a compact city and a rural area. Now, let's move on to the category of a healthier lifestyle. A compact city also makes people have a healthier lifestyle. According to Keegan's research, the life expectancy is about 2.5 years more in a compact city compared to a less dense city, due to the city providing chances for people to have physical activities that might make a healthier lifestyle. Have you seen the facilities built in the residential area before, such as fitness facilities and playgrounds in a compact city? The truth is that a compact city will prepare and build these facilities for people to apply to do the exercises when they feel free, leading a healthier lifestyle. Besides, busy and packed schedules always occur in a compact city. They always have to finish their goals set by their companies on time, which means that they have to manage their time wisely to prepare their work. This makes people always busy with their work and stay away from bad habits, as they have a goal to make their life better. Thus, healthier lifestyle occur among them. That's all for my part, and my friend will continue the presentation. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Thang. I'm a second-year student of electronic engineering. Today, I'm going to tell you about the disadvantages of a compact city. In contrast to the benefits discussed earlier, there are some potential drawbacks that cannot be neglected. A rising concern for a compact city is the high living costs in comparison to the other rural areas, particularly the housing costs. This is due to the fact that demand for houses in such limited land in a compact city that is being shared by millions of people. The trouble is, the costs don't burden everyone equally. The increasing density will only raise long-term housing costs for renters. According to a study from London School of Economics researchers, the density increment by 1% will raise the rental by 21%, while homeowners do not seek a cost increase. This is because the increased property value largely offset the high purchase prices, so the long-term cost remains stable. Moreover, although wages go up with higher density, the report estimates that income gains are lower than increasing rent. For example, for every 1% increment of density, wages rise 4%, while rentals rise 21%. You can clearly see the huge gap between them. Consequently, the expensive rental indeed becomes an immense burden to every low-income resident, like low-skilled workers, renters, and first-time buyers. Now, let's move on to increasing health challenges in compact cities. The first challenge is exposure to disease. This is because the compact city causes contagious disease to spread quickly through the rapid interaction between people. To visualize this effect, I'll give you an example during pandemic COVID-19. There's a density level in New York City that is disruptive. It has to stop, and it has to stop now. New York City must develop an immediate plan to reduce density. This is what tweeted by Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, during the first wave of pandemic COVID-19. Similarly, a survey in May by International Council of Shopping Centers found that about 27% of adults and 43% of millennials in the United States plan to move. In brief, people generally think that it is vulnerable in a high population area and are likely to move away. Besides, a compact city causes mental health issues. This is because city dwellers tend to spend their time alone and will be more likely to suffer from loneliness. Additionally, people get less access to nature in a compact city and tend to be busy with their work to survive in the competitive environment. This is due to the skyrocketing requirement in every field that keeps people competing with each other. As a result, people living in dense areas have been found that to be higher rates of anxiety, depression, and schizophrenia. All in all, the complexity indeed creates an environment with both opportunities and competitions that keep people occupied with their work and gradually deteriorate the mental health of individuals. Next, air pollution is the issue that cannot be ignored. A density might be more energy efficient on aggregate, but having millions of people on the small areas also means that air quality can often be lousy. The rapid development of complexities and the high volume of industrial areas can cause uneven distribution of air pollution. For instance, denser areas, industrial zones, and transportation corridors are likely to have poor air quality. Consequently, poor air quality has been linked to respiratory infections such as pharyngitis, a sore throat, bronchitis, a lung infection. Regardless of the large number of factories that may provide many job opportunities, the noxious gases emitted such as greenhouse gases are harmful to the environment and living organisms and will eventually lead to terrible air quality in denser areas of the complexity. In a nutshell, the disproportionality of air quality throughout the cities make part of the residents vulnerable to respiratory diseases and will cause long-term health effects for those who are living in complex cities. That's all from me. Thank you. From now on, Muhammad Ashik will take over.
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. I'm Muhammad Ashik Ahmed. My friends have already talked about the pros and cons of a compact city. Now I want to focus on the part refutation, where I will talk about some important benefits that we can get from a compact city. Compact city definitely offers a lot of benefits like lower emission, job opportunities, and many more, like my friends have talked about. But for this part, I want to mainly highlight the hidden health benefits that we can get from a compact city. A compact city offers a lot of mental health benefits. First of all, a compact city gives people more opportunity to interact with each other, which helps them to stay away from anxieties and loneliness. There are a lot of things available for entertainment in a compact city. Also, people are really busy with their work, which helps them a lot to stay away from loneliness and stress. And it has been found in the studies that people in compact cities have lower mortality rate than the rural people in rural areas. It is because they have better mental health. The next point is better mental health support. People in compact cities have got better mental health support. In research, it has been found that there are 24.2% more primary healthcare support and about 78% more mental health experts available in compact cities than the rural areas. So, people can easily maintain a good mental health. Also, it is very much likely that people in compact cities or urban areas are more cautious about their mental health. They know how to maintain a good mental health because of the facilities available in a compact city. So, they can easily maintain a good mental health. The next important benefit that we can get from a compact city is it can control the spreading of a contagious disease. We all know how dangerous a contagious disease like COVID-19 can be. So now let's talk about this important feature of compact city. We all know that areas that have higher density are more vulnerable to the contagious diseases. But shockingly, it has been found in the studies that in China, cities that have higher density, for example, Beijing, have got lower confirmed COVID cases than the cities that have lo- lower density. Why is that? It is because the authority knows that they are more vulnerable to the contagious disease. So they take necessary and cautionary steps and implement those very strictly. And people in these cities are more likely to be cautious about this disease and follow the steps and regulation of these disease very strictly. And they also try to follow the proper hygiene to control the spread of the disease. And lastly, in compact cities, there are better facilities available. So, if any person is affected by any contagious disease, the authority have got the facility to take care of them and control the spreading of the contagious disease. Now, let's move to the conclusion part. After analyzing all the bright side and drawbacks of a compact city, we have listed down some points for our conclusion. So, from the discussion, we can see that a compact city has got both bright side and drawbacks. But the bright side of a compact city is much more than its drawbacks. And if the government consider this problem seriously and take necessary steps, it is very much possible to overcome all these problems. In conclusion, we can say that a compact city is a better option to solve all the problem that has been discussed in this presentation. So that's it for our presentation. If you have any question, you can ask us. We are very open to any question. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.